What if Tanjiro had all of his powers from the start? So there's no real in-world explanation for how he gets his powers. It just happens when he comes back from selling coal. Not from birth, just right at the start of the series. I've done other Demon Slayer what-ifs, like him having memories, or the Demon Slayer mark early, but this is different. In this one, Tanjiro has everything from the end of the series. All forms of sun breathing, all his speed, all his skill, all of it. The only thing he doesn't have is memories. He doesn't remember the future. He just has the power. It's like his body knows what to do, even if his mind doesn't. His skills are on autopilot. When he sees Demon Nezuko, everything still happens the same at first. Giyu shows up, and Tanjiro fights him. But now, Tanjiro is already close to Hashira level, because his body is built for life and death combat. He still loses to Giyu, but he gives him a real fight. Giyu realizes something is off. This kid shouldn't be this strong. Tanjiro asks if Giyu is part of the Demon Slayer course, because he doesn't even have a Nichiren sword yet, just his axe. Giyu takes him and Nezuko with him, instead of sending him away alone. They go to Urokodaki together, where Nezuko is put under the hypnosis to see humans as family. Tanjiro doesn't really train with Urokodaki the normal way, because he already knows everything. He already knows sun breathing. He already knows how to fight. Even Giyu notices that Tanjiro moves like someone who's been doing this for years. After that, Tanjiro goes to final selection, and he absolutely dominates it. He has the Demon Slayer mark from the start, because this is a version where he has all his power. His body can already handle. He kills the hand demon easily, and just like Sabito in the original timeline, he saves a ton of other Demon Slayers. More people pass final selection because Tanjiro is there. Everyone starts calling him a prodigy, and Tanjiro kind of believes it too, because he doesn't know where this power came from. After final selection, Tanjiro and Giyu split up for missions. From here, Season 1 still happens mostly the same. Tanjiro meets Zenitsu, Inosuke, and fights all the same demons. He just beats them way easier. The only real fight in Season 1 that still matters is Rui. Now in the Rui Mountain timeline, Tanjiro would normally unlock sun breathing here, but in this version, he already has it. He already has everything. So Tanjiro just pushes straight through the mountain. Inosuke is trying to keep up, but he's nowhere near Tanjiro's level. Zenitsu stays back like usual, fights the spider demon later, and gets saved by Shinobu, just like in the original. Tanjiro slices through all the spider threads easily, because he's already skilled enough to do that. When he fights the father demon, he completely destroys him, and instantly realizes it's not a real demon, just like in the original, only way faster. Then, he goes straight to Rui and sees Nezuko. Tanjiro fights Rui for his sister, and absolutely destroys him. With sun breathing, Rui's threads can't keep up at all. Tanjiro is already close to Hashira level, and we saw Giyu kill Rui in one move, so Tanjiro does it even easier in this timeline. Nezuko does not unlock her blood demon art here. That happens later instead. After that, the Hashira meeting happens basically the same. Tanjiro fights back against Sanemi way better, since he's more trained, but Nezuko still gets stabbed, and everything still plays out. After that, they go to the Mugen train. Tanjiro still doesn't know where sun breathing comes from, so he wants answers. That's why he goes to see Rengoku, the flame Hashira, to find out if he knows anything about it. Now with that, the Mugen train basically happens almost the same during the Enmu part. Tanjiro and Inosuke defeat Enmu, while Nezuko, Zenitsu, and Rengoku protect the train. It still derails, and everything still plays out the same, except Tanjiro doesn't get stabbed as badly this time, because he's way more skilled now. When Akaza shows up, everything changes. Tanjiro is already basically Hashira level here. He already has the selfless state, the transparent world, the Demon Slayer mark, and a fully mastered sun breathing. Not on Yoriichi's level, but still insanely strong. So when Rengoku starts fighting Akaza, Tanjiro jumps in with him. Zenitsu is still knocked out under the train, and Inosuke is just standing there, shocked at how fast Tanjiro, Rengoku, and Akaza are moving. Akaza immediately realizes he's fighting two monsters now. Rengoku in the original timeline was on the weaker side of the Hashira, because he never unlocked the Demon Slayer mark. But in this timeline, because Tanjiro already has his mark active, Rengoku unlocks it here too. So now it's a marked Rengoku, and a fully awakened Tanjiro versus Akaza. This becomes basically the same type of fight as Tanjiro and Giyu versus Akaza in the Infinity Castle, except it's happening way earlier. Tanjiro is already in the selfless state, so Akaza can't read his fighting spirit. With that opening, Tanjiro slices off Akaza's head. Akaza remembers his wife and his past much earlier than in the original timeline and kills himself. Akaza is gone. Rengoku is alive, and now he has the Demon Slayer mark. With Akaza defeated and Rengoku still standing, they return and tell the Hashira about the Demon Slayer mark. The master immediately realizes how important this is, and the Hashira training arc begins early. Tanjiro didn't even need the mark to beat Rui before, but now everyone is training to unlock it. When the Entertainment District mission comes up, Tengen still takes Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke instead of the girls. They dress up and go find Upper Moon 6. Skipping straight to the fight, Tanjiro versus Daki is completely different now. Since Tanjiro is Hashira Hashira level, he cuts off Daki's head himself. Tengen was able to do it in the original, so Tanjiro can do it too. Then, Gyutaro comes out. Gyutaro is fast, but Tanjiro can keep up because of the transparent world and the selfless state. It's like the zone mixed with future sight. He can dodge almost everything Gyutaro throws at him. Tanjiro tries to finish Gyutaro before Daki recovers, but he can't do it alone. That's when Tengen jumps in, finishes off Daki, and joins Tanjiro to fight Gyutaro. Now, since Tanjiro is way stronger in this timeline, Inosuke and Zenitsu are also stronger than in the original. Not by a crazy amount, but enough to matter. So while Inosuke and Zenitsu fight Daki, Tanjiro and Tengen focus on Gyutaro. With Tanjiro using the transparent world, the selfless state, and the Demon Slayer mark, Tengen ends up unlocking his Demon Slayer mark too. And with Tanjiro pushing them forward, Inosuke and Zenitsu unlock theirs as well. We never saw their marked versions in the original timeline, but here it gives them a huge boost. Because of that, Daki and Gyutaro get overwhelmed fast. They're killed way easier than before. Tanjiro doesn't get a sickle through the neck, Tengen doesn't lose his arm, and Inosuke isn't half dead. Zenitsu also doesn't get trapped under the rubble this time. Everything goes way smoother in this timeline. Nezuko still unlocks her blood demon art and heals everyone from the poison like in the original. After that, they head back while the Hashira training arc is still going on. Obanai still shows up since he's one of the main Hashira training the upper level slayers. And just like before, Tanjiro still needs a new sword. Now with that, the Hashira training arc doesn't last very long because they're mainly training to unlock the Demon Slayer mark. And obviously, most of them can't get it. Only people like Gyome can. After that, the Swordsmith village arc still happens because Tanjiro needs a new sword. But this time, Muzan targets the Swordsmith village on purpose. After Akaza gets killed, Muzan wants payback, so Muzan sends his forces there. Tanjiro arrives, and he basically handles most of it himself. He kills most of the emotion clones on his own, holds off the main body by himself, and cuts it down way easier than before. Tokido, the Mist Hashira, still fights Gyoko, unlocks the Demon Slayer mark, and kills him. He still throws the sword to Tanjiro. Tanjiro uses it to finish off the main body. Mitsuri still shows up, saves the village chief, and helps Tanjiro hold off the last clone. Everything plays out the same, just way easier, and Tanjiro isn't nearly as beaten up afterward. Because of that, the Hashira training arc basically ends right there. Now they move straight into planning. Tamayo starts working with Shinobu, and the master begins preparing for his big sacrifice. His death is coming soon. Not exactly like the original timeline, but still inevitable. Muzan shows up. The master blows up the mansion, trying to kill him, and that sends everyone into the Infinity Castle. Akaza is already gone. Upper Moon 6, 5, and 4 are already gone. That means only Doma, Kokushibo, and the remaining demons are left. So now, the real final fights begin. Now, since there are only 2 Upper Moons left, the Biwa woman has to split the Hashira as much as possible inside the Infinity Castle. Even with that, she still ends up getting beaten later in the arc, and Yushiro takes control of the Infinity Castle with Mitsuri and Obanai. Zenitsu versus Kaigaku never really changes in any timeline. It's always a straight 1 versus 1, and Zenitsu is locked in on killing him no matter what. When Shinobu first finds Doma, the Hashira are still getting scattered around by the Biwa woman. Giyu and Tanjiro are still roaming together, helping where they can, but the Biwa woman keeps forcing matchups. Sanemi ends up breaking through a wall and finding Doma with Shinobu, and Giyu joins them too, because it's almost impossible for them not to link up at that point. That gives us Shinobu, Sanemi, and Giyu against Upper Moon 2, with Kanao and Inosuke there as support. This fight goes way better than in the original timeline. Sanemi and Giyu are the 2 strongest Hashira in pure combat, and Shinobu is one of the fastest. Kanao can use her eye technique if things get bad, and Inosuke helps with pressure and support. Sanemi's wind breathing is pure offense, Giyu's water breathing is pure defense, and together they're a perfect duo. With all of them working together, they overwhelm Doma and kill him. Meanwhile, Tanjiro ends up in the Upper Moon 1 fight with Gyome, Rengoku, and Tokito. Tokito and Tanjiro arrive first. When Kokushibo sees Tanjiro's earrings, he immediately goes all out on him. Tokito tries to protect Tanjiro, but Kokushibo is on another level. Tanjiro is the only one who can really keep up at first, using the transparent world, the selfless state, and the Demon Slayer mark to dodge and counter his attacks. He's already beyond normal Hashira level at this point. Gyome and Rengoku arrive, and now it's 4 Hashira plus Genya against Kokushibo. With all that pressure, Kokushibo starts to break. He remembers his brother, realizes he was wrong, and in the end, he chooses to die instead of continuing the fight. With Upper Moon 1 and 2 gone, and the Biwa woman defeated, everyone gets pulled out of the Infinity Castle. And now, we move into the Sunrise Countdown arc with all the Hashira still alive. Now with that, the Muzan fight happens way easier, since Tanjo is already on the front lines using the 13th form from the start. Because he isn't beaten down, like in the original timeline, Tanjo can actually keep up with Muzan in a straight 1 versus 1 at first. Once Tamayo's poison starts kicking in, and Muzan begins slowing down and turning more human, that's when Tanjo really takes over. Muzan still unleashes his big blast, but this time, the Hashira are fast just enough and in good enough shape to dodge it and keep fighting. Instead of only Obanai and Mitsuri helping Tanjo like in the original, way more Hashira are still alive and able to jump in. With Tanjo pressuring Muzan and everyone else backing him up, Muzan gets overwhelmed way faster and is killed much earlier in this timeline. Tanjo never becomes the Demon King because he's already too strong and never gets pushed into that situation. The only one who still dies is Gyome because he's past 25 and his Demon Slayer mark takes him that night, just like Kokushibo said. Giyu and Shinobu both survive, and even if Giyu unlocked the mark, he would still have time, so they get to be together. Sanemi survives until 25 since he definitely unlocked the mark against Doma. Muichiro survives until 25 as well. Mitsuri and Obanai both survive and get to be together, even if their marks mean they don't live long lives. And Rengoku survives too, at least until 25, which means he gets more time with his little brother and gets to live a lot longer than he did in the original timeline. That's this timeline. Hope you guys really liked it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and go check out my JJK video, What If Megumi Had His Full Power from the Start.